Hello YouTube, this is Cap and Ball here again. I received many requests from you about how I clean my black powder guns. Cleaning the residue from the bore fired with black powder is very important because the residues can absorb the water from the air and they will form an acidic compound which can ruin your bore easily and it can destroy your rifling easily. So you have to remove this. My method needs only 5 or 10 minutes, which is important because the less time you spend for cleaning your gun, the more you have for shooting it. So please follow me and see how I do it. There are basically two important parts of the gun that you have to clean. The first one is the bore, and the rest is all the other metal parts of the gun, including the lock. And in this case, it doesn't really matter if your gun is a percussion gun or a flintlock gun, because the basic things you have to do are all the same on both types.
Let's see first what tools we will need for cleaning the gun. First, you will need jags that match the caliber of your bore. This will help us move the patches up and down without losing them somewhere midway. We will need also cleaning patches. I make mine from cheap kitchen cloths available in supermarkets. Cheap and efficient solution. We'll need brushes as well. If you shoot conicals from your bore without patching, you will need to use brass brushes time to time. But if you only shoot patched round balls with good lube, bristle brushes will do the job. Get some good quality gun oil. It is useful for cleaning and conservation as well. You'll need PTFE tape to cover the threads of the flash hole insert and the threads of the nipple. Get a high carbon nipple wrench. Get one for normal nipples, one for musket and one for revolver. They are all different sizes. I don't like to remove the barrel for cleaning from the full stock rifles, so I only do it usually once a year to cover the bottom surface with grease to prevent corrosion. I rather use a plastic tube for everyday cleaning. But of course there are times when you need to remove the bore. For this you will need a good pin punch tool. The wood of the full stock rifles is usually fastened to the bore with metal pins or nails. You will strongly need a good loading rod with a plastic muzzle protector. The rod can be made of iron, but better to have it from brass to save the bore. And you will also need good quality high carbon screwdrivers matching your screws exactly. I use a plastic bottle for keeping the hot water. Hot water is the best residue solvent. You can add some soap as well, but to tell you the truth, it is not necessary. After you checked if the gun is unloaded, the first step is to remove the lock. Removing the lock will give you access to the touch hole insert. This little insert is made of stainless steel, and we can replace it if the touch hole burns out. It can be hard to remove if we did not wrap the threads with PTFE tape prior firing the gun. Remember, only try to move the insert with good quality screwdriver that fits the insert exactly. Sometimes it can be hard to move, as it is located exactly where the strongest burning takes place. The original size of the touch hole is 1.5 mm, but if it becomes bigger than 1.7 mm, replace it. Here is the plastic tube I mentioned before. It has a brass end that can be screwed into the place of the touch hole. To the other end I taped the lead bullet as an extra weight. It is not a problem if the tube also has a small tool for closing the flow of the water. The working principle is quite simple. We drop the end with the weight into the hot water, we screw a caliber size jag to the ramrod and push a tight fitting patch into the bore. With the pump created like this, we suck the water from the container into the bore and push it out. We repeat this until the water exiting the tube does not seem dirty. It is useful to squeeze a rack to the muzzle of the rifle so the overflowing hot water cannot get between the barrel and the stock. If you did it right, the third or fourth patch will come out clean like this. Usually this cleaning method is enough, but if you shot your rifle too much, you may need the brushes as well. In this case, suck half height water into the bore, close the flow of water, attach a brush to the ramrod and wash the bore well. If this is ready, run a few more water through your barrel with the pump effect, and then blow the remaining out of the bore. Remove the cleaning tube and with a few strong blows get rid of the remaining water from the breech. Now it is time to dry the bore. Run new patches through the bore until they come out completely dry and clean. When the last patch is okay, it is time to oil the bore. Use an oil that is capable of sneaking between the metal and the last possible water drops. Do not use too much oil, as it can soak the powder of the first shot. Even if you use the right quantity of oil, wipe your bore before shooting to make sure your first shot will go off. If the bore is done, use a patch saturated with oil to wipe the metal surfaces to clean the residue from all places. It is easy to clean the touch hole insert with an old toothbrush. It helps if you soak it for a few minutes in hot water. If it seems clean, dry it, and with a few strong blows make sure that no water remains in the touch hole area. Wrap the threads with PTFE tape so it will not stuck after shooting. Now it is time to clean the lock. With the damp toothbrush, clean the residue from the steel, pen and the area of the stone. Dry it with a rag or hair dryer and spray some oil on the interior parts. Never spray oil on the flint or steel, but use an oil saturated cloth to wipe the metal surfaces. When the lock is remounted into the stock, never forget to check if it functions correctly.
Do you think? In 5 or 10 minutes you can clean your gun without any problem, without any strong efforts. And if you do this after each shooting session, you will never ruin your bore. I know what I'm talking about because I did ruin one very good bore of mine. So save your gun and clean it after each shooting.